different.
So kind of one thing that I want to talk about before we move on from the news, I think, is the so Star Wars Squadrons. Is like they're like we're not releasing any DLC. There's no additional anything. It's not gonna be a game as a service. Like you paid your money. This is the game. Like we hope y'all can appreciate that. And
I think that's I think it's
That's
like
pretty
just a
dope.
test. I think it's a test.
yeah,
I think they're trying to see if they're mitigating risk on that one.
and they want to see how people respond. But
Hmm.
I think it can work for some games. Like there's definitely I feel like value in like building a complete game and selling it one time. Um,
Yeah, I mean that's that worked for how many years before like we got into this
Hey,
whole,
don't
you
use that
know,
logic. So,
I
because that's how
mean,
they feel
but
about slavery.
oh yeah, that is
I knew
true.
that's where he was going
That
as
is
soon as
true.
he said that.
That slavery worked so well for starting America and getting
Yeah, yeah,
them
you're right.
starting wealth for certain individuals.
Probably need to bring that back.
Very
It
true.
was
I will say for I think it will work if so you still release the full game, but you just add elements to it. So like you add like for instance how if Battlefront 2 would have released the full game, and then added like seasonal elements like okay, hey, new Star Wars movies coming out. So here's some new characters we're gonna give y'all for free. You just have to earn it, whatever. I don't know.
I
It's
mean, but then it adds so much. It adds so much like surface area to the game, right? Because you gotta pay people to do that. You gotta pay people to test that, and
Right.
all like
Yeah.
it's a whole mess. You know what
That's
I mean?
that's why they charge for it, right? Because for us it's just like, hey, put more levels on you, right? For them it's like they
Yeah,
gotta
Like they can
hire,
flip a
they
switch.
gotta,
that's more salary.
yeah.
That's fixed
Exactly.
cost right there.
They need to go
so
to the No Man's Sky guys and find out how to procedurally generate story
But I like
because
this though
that's the only useful
because
part of their software.
yeah.
I feel like if this game wouldn't have came out like towards last generation,
Like
beginning part of this generation, because if you remember, like, I mean, EA is notorious for like killing franchises and shit, right? Especially if they don't.
Anthem.
Well,
It
that
didn't
that
even
was
get
a
to
whole
become a
other.
franchise. It was.
Yeah. Um, but like I feel like I like the fact that like they're they obviously this game was made with a more constrained budget, which is why it's $40. And I feel like as long as they can make money off of like endeavors like this, that's better for us because we get more variety. Instead, if this fails, we're just gonna get more like we're the next. There probably won't be another Squadrons, but if they do come back with another Squadrons, it's gonna be another game as a service, and
Yep.
that's how a lot of these companies are making like they have like these elaborate plans and designs, and they're trying to go for like this AAA, like yo, we gotta have the best graphics, we gotta have the best performance,
Yep.
this and that, we gotta have
It's got to
massive
be a
levels, we
blockbuster.
gotta yeah, and it's like I like this because it's like all right, like you could tell like it was like all right, this is how much we're gonna give you all. We're gonna charge, we're gonna charge $40. That way, we can get more volume. Because people will view it as like, oh, this is not a
Okay.
$60 game, so they're not expecting, this uh a game as a service where it's like to get this constant drip feed of content. It's just like $40. Here's a game that you can it's multiplayer, so it is infinite content, but we're not gonna drop new levels and this and that, and like it's just a one-off thing. And I think this is good, because we're gonna get a bigger variety of games. And EA, if you look at like their back catalog, they have a lot of shit that they've just been sitting on over the years. So I think that if folks go out and support these type of games, like we're gonna start getting more um, smaller scale games that are like $30-$40 that kind of push, the boundary a bit more in terms of gameplay and set pieces, things of that sort. So yeah,
Mhm.
no more
And
games as a service. I'm tired of that shit.
And that was Grandpa Crescent's rant for the day, guys.
Basically,
no, he about to start
Indeed.
again because we have
Just shaking his
kind of
fist at
the
gamers.
studios are doing, like a different like we got kind of other side of the coin where we have the Call of Duties that are wanting to sell you content um infinitely or at least until their next release. They're um like right now Call of Duty, NBA 2K, and a couple other games. It's like they want to charge you $10 extra for the game for the next gen to get the next gen
oh, for the
version.
upgrade,
Yep,
yeah.
there's no smart delivery. And but then it's like, this in this article, the person who wrote it is arguing like, okay, so but is that gonna matter to the people who are buying the games if it's in Game Pass? And
Mm.
I
I think that makes a stronger case for something like Game Pass. Like
I
if
agree.
games are gonna go up in price, you know, I just think it is it's kind of a no brainer. It's like, oh shit, like I may not be able to play, Uncharted 7 at launch for $70. But I got Game Pass where you can play like, all sorts of stuff. And then like on top of that now, you have Bethesda being, brought into the fold. So you're gonna get all of those titles and stuff. So it just makes a stronger case for, something like Game Pass. And I think um you're gonna start seeing that when people are gonna be like $70. Like fuck that.
Right. But then it's, I mean, I feel like that it definitely makes it more appealing. Like I'm not.
Then you get the sunken cost fallacy, where you're like, now that I have, now that I'm paying $14, $15 a month, I have to play as many games as possible. So you're like, now you're like, you gotta play games now because you got Game Pass.
Not really. I mean, do you feel that way towards like your, Netflix or Hulu and shit like that?
Well, eventually, if I realize I'm not using something, I cancel it. So kinda like if I'm not using, so but I get it because I think I'm gonna use it, and then when I don't have it, I end up canceling it afterwards. Um, but I use those a lot enough for me to feel like okay, if
You're
because
getting your
for different
money's worth.
reasons. Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
like they're staples. Like I'm like okay, I have it for this, I have that for that. I mean, Amazon Prime just comes with the other Amazon stuff,
Yeah,
right?
nobody
That's
actually like gets
nobody.
Amazon Prime
Yeah, and
Video
I
for
didn't go out of
Amazon
my
Prime
way.
Video. It's just like it comes with Amazon Prime, so it's like, oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, it's always been there, right? Since since I've
Free
had
the
so I
I mean the shipping, man.
that's what it is. It's the
That's what it
shipping.
is. That's how they get you.
That's how they're
That's the
selling
most.
videos. So so but yeah, so I get the stuff. The only one I haven't been able to cancel is Funimation. That's just because it is very confusing to cancel Funimation. I've tried to do it
Jesus,
and
what?
so
That
far
is on purpose.
they've gotten months out of me because I'm just like I give up. I'll do this later and then I forget about it and then I remember oh I gotta
Damn.
cancel Funimation and I go back in and I'm like it's like a maze. Like
They got you trapped in
so
an
They
IKEA
gon-
store.
yeah, it's exactly what it is. I keep making left turns. Like, how do I get out of this place?
They be like
But
shortcut, and you go through
They're
there and you
gonna
back in the fucking kitchen. Like, how?
they're gonna throw you a bone and give you a phone number, and you call them, and they just gonna put you on hold for like
No
two
bullshit.
days.
yeah, and then I'm just gonna
Like
hang
to
up,
cancel,
and
press 2.
they're
We
gonna say
have
we have
no
the call volume.
representatives right now.
Yeah, they're gonna say the call volume is very high. It's
We're
people. It's
experiencing
all
increased.
people like
Yep,
me trying to cancel it.
We
facts.
have a lot of callers today. Please stay on the line.
All right, or they
But
want to
yeah,
put
I
they want
can.
to put you in the callback queue and never call you back.
Mhm.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't ever play. I mean I don't ever really play games, but since I've had Game Pass, I have played more games because of that. And
That's
Mm.
perfect.
it is
That's
Absolutely.
it is
working then.
Yeah,
yeah, it's absolutely working. But I'm like,
Absolutely. I've
okay,
played more.
yeah, because Carl was just a Halo person for as long as I've known him, and Guitar
Yes.
Hero,
Yeah.
and so now he's playing like Branch. Carl won in Soul
Playing Soul
Calibur last
Calibur? Yeah. I
last
was
week.
like, oh,
That's first of all, how did that happen? Second of all, like that's not a
yes.
game he
How
would
did
have
that
played if he
happen?
didn't have Game Pass.
True. Very true.
Yeah,
would
exactly.
not have
Yeah, I
played
wouldn't have picked that
Yeah.
up.
And I will say
I played
like
Call of freaking Duty. What
Yeah,
a terrible
you
game that is, and I played it.
it's not that bad once you get used to it, Carl. But see, I don't
What
know if it'll
need to
be
get
for you.
used
Like
to
I
it for
play a lot of
solo.
objective because like the team
Oh
deathmatch
bad.
is
Oh
just.
bad.
But don't say that. That's like
Cancerous.
that's sacrilege.
You just cursed him out, is what you did.
Yeah,
You just,
basically.
you
That is
just cursed
so
him out.
gross. Disgusting.
I mean, you still get to kill people. It's just
No,
like
it's not. It's not good
it's
enough,
not
bro.
it's not good
It's
That's
enough.
not.
That's
It's not.
it's not the same
It's not
vibe.
Oh,
Oh
gosh.
man.